All right, so hi everyone. Welcome to our cultural adjustment presentation. We're going to do things a little bit different this year. Years past, we've sort of done a presentation that's more interactive, but we're going to go ahead and ask our SOAR leaders, who are all international students themselves, some questions about adjusting to U.S. culture and some of the difficulties, some of the challenges, some of the positives of doing so. And without further ado, we'll go ahead and get right into it. My name is Tanner. I serve as the coordinator of international student services here at Georgia Southern on the Statesboro campus, and I will let everyone else introduce themselves now. So we will start with Sarah.
Hi everyone, I'm Sarah Nobles. I'm an international student coordinator. I'm stationed on the Armstrong campus, but I serve all students on both campuses.
And Anna, if you'll go ahead and go.
Hello, I'm Anna. I'm an international student from Honduras. I'm currently in Statesboro, and I'm a mechanical engineering major.
Perfect. Renisha?
Hey everyone, my name is Renisha. I'm from Abaco, Bahamas. I'm currently in Statesboro right now, and I'm an accounting major.
Perfect. Namdi? Namdi, it looks like you're still muted there.
Oh, thank you. Sorry. Yeah, hi, my name is Nnamdi Ofwani. I'm from Nigeria, and I'm a mechanical engineering major on the Statesboro campus. But for now, I'm in Texas with my uncle.
Perfect. Oscar?
Hi, my name is Oscar. I'm an international student from Tegucigalpa, Honduras, and I'm currently in Statesboro. I study civil engineering.
Okay. Thank you. Emma?
Hello, everybody. My name is Emma. I'm from France. Right now, I'm in Statesboro, and I'm studying international trade and Chinese.
Perfect. Thank you. And Alejandro?
Hello, everyone. My name is Alejandro. I'm an international student from the Dominican Republic, and I'm studying manufacturing engineering.
Perfect. Thank y'all. So that's our team of SOAR leaders. We are missing one, Rosalind. She is from Nigeria as well. Unfortunately, she was unable to make this meeting, but we're hoping she might be able to join us about halfway through. But we'll go ahead and get started into this. So I'll pose this question to each of our SOAR leaders. What is something that you wish you would have known the first day you arrived here at Georgia Southern? And Tanisha, I'll allow you to start that one.
I'll start with my introduction. Hello, everyone. I'm Tanisha. I'm an international student from Nassau, Bahamas, and I'm currently in the Bahamas right now, and I'm studying chemistry pre-pharmacy. And something that I wish someone would have told me when I arrived on campus was that professors were available to us more than we thought, because they have office hours. And I never really knew that up until like the second semester, that they were free and open to like talking to students and helping them with any problems. So yeah, that's what I wish I knew.
Perfect. Thank you. And then sorry about that. I apologize, Tanisha. I'm not sure how I skipped over you, but I will go ahead and let Oscar go now.
Hi, everyone. So, to be honest, something I wish I would have known is that everything will make sense. Everything will fall by itself. And most of the insecurities and fears you'll feel on your first year here, they'll get solved, and you'll be able to get through this as time goes through. So yeah, that everything will make sense as time goes on.
Perfect. Thank you. Emma, how about you?
So for me, my biggest fear when I arrived here was whether I was gonna fit at Georgia Southern or not, and I was worried about the people that I would meet and everything. And what I would like to have known is that I would meet amazing people, and that everything was gonna be fine, and I would really love it.
Perfect, perfect. Thank you. And it looks like Rosalind was just able to join us. So Rosalind, we will go ahead and let you introduce yourself. And we will start with the question of what you wish you knew on your first day, okay? Well, we might miss her there. No, it's just one moment. Rosalind, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, perfect. Will you go ahead and introduce yourself and then let the new international students know something you wish you would have known the first day you arrived?
Okay. Oh, my name is Roslyn Uchome. I'm from Nigeria and I'm a sophomore studying electrical engineering in Georgia Southern. Um, hmm. Okay, one thing I should have known is that um in classes, for example, in Nigeria, you couldn't like talk to the teacher, casually. Like you had to be very formal. And you can't talk to the teacher during classes. You have to wait to after class to talk to him. But in here, you can like communicate to the teacher and ask him questions even during classes and stuff. So you just have to like more free and everything. If you have questions, ask stuff like that.
Perfect, perfect. Thank you, thank you. And now, who wants to jump in next there? Oh, Renisha, we'll go ahead with you.
One thing I wish I would have known is really simple. Georgia Southern is like such a large campus. I wish I knew that there were people under the rotunda telling you which building is which building and where you could go to find the building with your classes.
Perfect, thank you, thank you. Namdi, I saw you volunteer this last time, so we'll go ahead and go with you.
Oh yeah, mine is similar to Renisha's one. So I came 1 week late to campus, and I wish I had known the buildings because I really struggled with locating classes. So I would really advise that the international students come in, take out some time to know the buildings. I wish I knew that.
Perfect, perfect. Thank you, thank you. Now, Anna, how about you?
I would say probably to not be afraid to talk with people in general, whether it be professors or even students next to you. Everyone's really friendly, and I wish I had known, like, in order to like make new friends in classes and just not be afraid or embarrassed to talk with each other.
Perfect, perfect. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Now, I didn't miss anyone that time, did I? Nope, Alejandro, I did miss someone. I knew it. We'll let you go ahead.
What I wish I would have known is the menu for the meal plan, because, for example, for me, the sushi is one of my favorite foods. And I got to know that they serve sushi Tuesdays and Thursdays the second semester. So, like, getting to know, like, the menu and what days they put what kind of food is really important.
Perfect, perfect. Thank you there. And so I will go ahead and let Sarah take over. Yep, you're still muted, Sarah.
Still muted.
That's okay.
What would you say was the hardest part of adjusting to American culture? Go ahead and start with Tanisha.
Honestly, I would say the food because I'm just my dad's obviously Bahamian, my mom's from Guyana, so I've had like a mix of like really interesting, unique, cultured foods for like my whole life, and adjusting to like the dining halls don't cook that kind of food for you, and then what a typical American meal is for Americans, that's not the typical meal for me. So just like adjusting the balance that I still have the things that are nutritious and like taste good to me like at home, but like picking and choosing, oh, this is what's in the dining hall, so I'll eat this day and not that day. So yeah, the food.
Does anyone want to add on to that, or? Namdi, how about you?
Yeah, I also had some problems adjusting to the food. Yeah, back then I had a different menu. The food is kind of different back in Africa. So I also had a hard time doing that. But I talked to a friend and he was able to show me things I could eat and enjoy. So it still went on great at the end.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. And now, how about you pick the next person to speak for us, Nambi?
Okay. Um, I'm gonna pick Emma.
Oh, so for me, one of the hardest cultural adjustments was the fact that I was from France, and at Georgia Southern, I didn't really know anybody from France. So I really had to adapt myself without really having anybody like from like my area to talk to. So that was kind of hard at first because I would see all my friends with a lot of people from their own culture, and they would have fun together. And yeah, that was pretty hard at first, but then you learn to open yourself to the world, and anyway, it was really fine.
Perfect. Thank you all so much. So we'll go ahead and move on to our next topic here. And so, what are some resources that you wish you knew sooner here on the Georgia Southern campus? And we'll start off that one with Tanisha. How about that?
Okay, so there are a lot of resources I knew sooner, especially the career services for me, because I'm looking into going to grad school. So I wish I knew that you can review your resume, review your cover letter. You can hold mock interviews. They can help you find internships, co-ops. And I came in undeclared, so they have like an amazing career exploration program there. So I wish I knew about that sooner, as well as the Academic Success Center, because I started off looking for like outside sources to help me with classes, but they offer free tutoring in a lot of the classes, honestly, all of the classes that I was taking at the time. So just having it accessible on campus, free for students for your specific class, that's the research I wish I'd known sooner. It would have saved me a lot of time and a lot of money. So those two.
Perfect. Thank you. And I'll let you, Tanisha, pick on next SOAR leader to help us guide through that.
I'll go with Anna.
So something I wish I had known before, I only found out about this because of quarantine, were the virtual labs for heavy software like SolidWorks. Like for me as an engineer, I can't download that type of software on my normal computer. It would crash. So I found out about the virtual labs right now, and they work extremely well. And in case you have any troubles with your computer, any software, you can just access them for free as a student, and you'll have no problem there.
Perfect. Thank you. And Anna, I'll let you continue on the trend, and you can call on our next SOAR leader.
I'll choose Oscar.
So continuing what Anna said and the amount of virtual resources we have, the library has a software named Galileo, which allows you to search among thousands and thousands and thousands of academic papers and books for free. It serves like a virtual library, and I discovered that until 4 months ago. It would have been really useful at first. So yeah.
Absolutely. I'll let Sarah take it away from there.
Those are really good points, guys. Well, going back to culture, what are some experiences that you've had sharing your culture with others at Georgia Southern?
I'll go. I'll go. I think the only like experience I could remember that I had sharing my culture is they have international conversation hour where mostly all international students are welcome and they have food and stuff and we just talk with one another about where we're from and our experiences and get to know one another. So like it's an easy way to make friends. So that was a good resource.
I think I saw Alejandro raise his hand.
Yeah, so one of the sports that my country has the most in common with the United States is baseball. So I had a lot of like talks with United like domestic students, and I could like have conversations about baseball players that are from my country and stuff like that. So in that sense, like I could really share my experience through that sport with other domestic students.
Go ahead, Emma.
So I want to talk real quick about the international ambassadors, and this is a really great way to share our culture. And through this student organization, I was able to really share my culture with American students and even with their families when they come on campus. And we get to share and learn from other cultures as well. And that's a really great program.
Perfect. Perfect. Thank you. Thank you. So we will move on to our next topic here. And so, what's something that you've learned about your own culture that perhaps was uncommon at first to you, or you weren't quite prepared for, but now that's new to you and that you're excited about that you've kind of grown into? Maybe appreciation for something. And we will start that one off on Anna. How about you?
So I learned that, for example, I'm a Latina, so the way we speak in Spanish is very lively and outspoken, and not a lot of Americans know that. So sometimes when we speak among each other, they may think we're talking really loud. Maybe we're fighting with each other, but it's just the way we talk. So I found that out, and then as of then, I've like been aware of like my surroundings and the way I speak with other Latinos when people that don't understand Spanish are around. So knowing that, it's helped a lot with communication and friends and all that.
Perfect, perfect. And we'll continue this popcorn trend, so I'll let you pick on the next one here.
I'll choose Roslyn.
Yeah, I think I'll talk about the food because when I came here, I didn't really appreciate Nigerian food obviously because I was in Nigeria. But when I came here, I started to like miss Nigerian food and stuff. So the food, yes, something I miss about my culture.
Perfect, perfect. Thank you. And I'll let you go ahead and pick our final sore leader on this topic.
Mm, Tanisha.
All right, so it's like I've honestly noticed a lot of things, but I feel like the most like wow moment for me was I realized like how different I was, but in a good way, because I have a lot of like American friends and they're actually like interested in like, oh, what makes me different from them? What makes me unique? So I've honestly valued the Bahamian culture so much more since I've been away and attending school because I'm like, oh, these differences make me so unique. And I carry, not that I didn't carry my culture with pride, but now I even have like more pride for my culture and like for my country.
Thank you for that. That's great. That's wonderful to hear. And then we will let Sarah take this away now.
Well, so what strategies have you guys used to help yourself learn and adapt while you've been on campus and in the United States in general? Let's start with Nandi.
Okay, so this will be a very short one. So the accent is different, Nigerian accent and the American accent. So one thing I did that helped me to really communicate with people was talking slower. I didn't talk too fast, and I noticed that people could understand me better, and that really helped me to adapt and adjust more.
Thank you. Do you want to pick the next person?
Okay, I'll pick Ronisha.
Okay, I would say one strategy that I helped was like before I like made friends and stuff, I would just stay on campus and I would just explore and look around. So like after my classes and stuff, I'd just be on campus, just walking around, just looking, trying to like get accustomed to my surroundings and knowing where stuff is and things like that. So I think that's a good way to like become more comfortable with where you are. Alejandro?
Like one of the differences between like international students and domestic students is that on the weekends we can't leave campus because we can't really go back home. So one of the strategies that I used a lot was like on the weekends, like hanging out a lot with my other international friends and like trying to make up for it and like doing stuff together on the weekends when other domestic students leave to their houses. That way, like you can feel more like less homesick, and I would say, and also like never lose contact with your old friends from your country. Always like try to keep in contact with them, your family. That way, like it really helps alleviate like homesickness. Oscar.
I would say to be open to learn and understand the culture here, and as well be open to share your own culture. You learn as a foreign student that your culture will be appreciated here, and people will be genuinely interested to know where are you and where you come from. But at the same time, you have to be interested in knowing the culture here and understanding the way people think. So I think that balance is a helped me know and gather a lot of connections here in America.
Perfect, perfect. Thank you, Oscar. We appreciate that. And so we will move on here to our next topic then. And how is classroom interaction you found different? We've kind of hit on this a little bit, but we'll kind of really spotlight this. The communication between you and a professor. Tanisha talked about office hours. So we'll start over here with Renisha. What do you think about classroom that's different from where you might?
I would say like classroom at like high school and university level is a lot of like technology. So like home we would like write on the board or the professor would go through like the classroom roster to figure out who was there, who was in. But when I came here, there were like PowerPoints, or in this one class, we used like tap hat, yeah, to verify your attendance and stuff. So it's a lot more technology than I was used to at first.
Perfect, perfect. And Emma, how about you?
So actually, most of the classes I've taken here are very much smaller than the classes that would be in a French university. So that's really great because it's easier to know the students that are in your class and to learn. It just makes it like a really good environment for that.
Perfect, perfect. And we will let Sarah take us away with our next question there.
So Renisha had a good point about technology and classrooms being different from what she was accustomed to. What are some things around campus that are also a change from what you're accustomed to back home? Maybe going to restaurants, markets, things to do, traveling, things like that. We'll start with Anna.
Um, Well, for me, I wasn't accustomed to walking so much around campus because the buildings were so far away. In Honduras, it's a lot smaller. So walking around, figuring your way through classes, knowing where to go, all of that turned out to be a lot different. And you have to learn how to schedule like the time you will take to arrive to classes in order to not be late, like make sure where the buildings are and all of that in order to get to class on time. Yeah. Tanisha.
Going off of what Anne said about like the time it takes to like get to class, I think it was different for me just seeing the transportation around like Statesboro itself because I'm used to having like more public transportation options, and I feel maybe that's just here, but in Statesboro it's a lot more like private traveling options like Uber, Lyft, Zipcar. So it's less public transportation systems and more like private condensed traveling options. So yeah, that's different.
And Tanisha, we'll let you go ahead and call on one more SOAR leader to speak on this.
Sure. How about Namdi?
Okay. Yeah. So for me it was more about this kind of self-dependence. So back in high school, I was used to depending on teachers and they will always guide me through things. But when I came to university, I found out that although the teachers were willing to help, you have to state your need and speak out for yourself. Yeah.
Perfect. Thank y'all for that information. So we will go ahead and move on to our next topic here. So how is one way that you've tried to deal with the homesickness? So maybe you're missing your home or your culture. What's something you've tried to do to kind of compensate for that? And we'll start with you, Emma.
So for me, the thing that helps the most is really staying busy and make sure I always have things to do and I have people to be around with. That's very important because the times that I felt the more homesick were usually the times I was alone for like a longer period of time. So yeah, make sure you have people around you and you stay busy.
Perfect. Thank you. And we'll let you call on the next SOAR leader.
Alejandra?
I would say like going off of what Emma said, like expanding your social circle and like never being alone. Like I think that's like one of the most important thing, like to always be like talking with people, be involved, interacting. It's like that way you have fun and that way like you're never like overthinking a lot of things like by yourself alone. Like always try to like find people to meet. Like there are a lot of opportunities like even in your own hall, international, domestic, all types of students. I would say like try to interact and get the most out of it.
And how about you, Oscar? What are your thoughts on this?
To be honest, I'll go along the lines of what Alejandro says. It's important to be open to discover new people, new connections, new circles here. And you're going to find out that whatever you like or wherever you think you belong, you'll find people like you here. It's just that you have to expose yourself. You just got to get yourself out there. And as well, something that is important to deal with homesickness is maintaining important communication with your family. I will not say to be talking with them 5 times a day, 24 all days a week, because that will not be beneficial either. But it's important to maintain communication with your parents, with your friends, and with anyone who is back home. It's that's the advantage that technology has given us in these times. So might as well take advantage of it.
Perfect. Thank you, Oscar. And I will hand that over to Sarah.
I think, Emma, did you want to throw something in there really quickly?
Yeah, I just wanted to add that being homesick is something that every international student experience at some point, and that it is also important to talk about it to your friends, to your RAs, I mean, pretty much everybody would support you on that, and yeah, it's important to talk about it, I think.
Thank you. Another question is, are there any funny issues or experiences that you've had that might help another person? Things like different food etiquette, things like social interactions being different in your home country, like the way you greet people or signs of affection. Any funny stories like that that might help a new student coming in? Nandi, I think you unmuted yourself. You want to go ahead?
O- Okay, okay, yeah. So that this is about the for greetings. Let me start with greetings. So in the United States, I discovered that we use more of hi's and hey, and hi, hey, how are you, and all that. But in Nigeria, we use more of good morning, ma, good morning, sir, good morning, uncle, good morning, auntie. So I discovered that, and I was able to adjust. And there were sometimes I used good morning, ma, and the person was looking at me like, like, they're not used to all that. Then secondly, in the US, I discovered that usually, older ones greet more than younger ones, and that's different from where I came from. So I just need to point that out. And also, there's something I really learned that I will take back to Nigeria when I get there. I found out that in the US, especially in official greetings, they have firm grips, like they shake with firm grips. Yeah, it's something I learned here. And then for goodbyes, in the US, we use more of see you, bye some other time, and in Nigeria, it's almost the same thing. We just say goodbye and yeah. And then for affection, I discovered that they show more affection in the US. Yeah, I see parents hug their children, kiss them, and also they appreciate flower gifts a lot, and that's not common in where I come from. And also, customer care is very wonderful here. They make customers feel so happy and excited, and yeah, those were just the few things I picked out.
Alejandro, go ahead.
Well, so like us Latins, like we have a tradition when we like greet people of the opposite sex. We have a tradition of like it's more affectionate. Like we go out to like their faces and we like exchange a kiss in the cheek, something like that. And I definitely had some weird interactions here, like at campus that you should avoid. Like try to like be mindful of that when you're interacting with domestic students. So like trying to adjust to that grading because it's definitely very very different.
That's really good. Do you want to pick somebody else to go? Or someone to wrap up?
Um, Tanisha, I don't know.
So I'd say like the most different thing for me is here, whenever you like enter like a room, enter a business, see someone on the street, you like talk to them no matter what. If you know them or not, like good morning, good afternoon, this, that, and the other. Like they could be a complete stranger, you don't know them, or a room full of like 50 people in a waiting room, you still talk to them. And that's not necessarily the same in the United States because you get some strange looks. It's like, do I know you from somewhere? Like, did I mistake you from someone? Like, have we met before? I'm like, oh, no, no, no. It's just, and it's like, oh, no, never mind. So, like, just being mindful of, like, that was the biggest change for me because I'm just so used to it that when people think it's like, oh, so being mindful of that.
I actually have a quick follow-up question. If anybody has a fun experience with this, how do you all feel about the question, how's it going? Let's say you're checking out at a cash register and someone asks you, how are you, or how's it going? Do you actually answer that question, or what's your experience with that?
I think I actually do answer that question. Like going off of what Tanisha said, home, it'll be two people passing and we'll be like, hey, how are you? I'm good. How are you? All while passing each other. So like we're just so accustomed to answering those kind of questions because it's completely normal. Whereas here, even though they say how are you or how's it going, sometimes they don't really expect a response. But back home, we really do have a whole conversation in just passing, just a greeting. That's just how it
Thanks, Renisha. Back to you, Tanner.
Perfect. Thank you. Thank you. We'll come back to that. And so we're going to pose another question, and this is going to be kind of an odd question. But so all of you have been in the United States here for a little bit longer, and kind of have experienced that initial phase of culture shock and learning to adapt. So how do you learn to how do you continue to learn to keep learning and keep sharing your own culture? What are some opportunities that you have there? And Oscar, you look excited to talk, so we'll start with you there.
Sorry, my computer froze. I couldn't hear anything or see anything.
Oh, sorry about that. Sorry about that. I just said, what are some opportunities you've had to continue to share your culture now that you've been in the United States for a longer period, that you kind of keep learning yourself. So kind of what are some of those opportunities and where do you find them?
Well, to be honest, something that I feel fortunate about is talking about the realities of my country and the culture and what we have to offer to the world. I feel that we have the opportunity of speaking for the people back home and to show the world what we're made of and that. So I remember that a year ago or 2 years ago, I was able to speak on a conference of the Democrats of Georgia for about the Honduran realities that were going out a while ago. And personally, it made me feel extremely proud and extremely grateful of giving our country some kind of representation here. And I think that's something to embrace, to feel proud about your culture in a foreign country, in a foreign land. And people get to know that. I don't know if I answered your question.
Yeah, you definitely did, and we appreciate you sharing that. And I'll let you go ahead and pick the next SOAR leader that's going to share with us.
Oh, Emma.
So to me, to keep learning and sharing, it's important to keep challenging yourself every day. Give yourself a new challenge, something new to try, and that here opportunities are pretty much endless if you really like look for them and you seize them. And so I think that yeah, it's important to always put yourself out there. And so there are like many resources to do that on campus. You can get an on-campus job and get involved, meet new people, and don't be afraid to do that. And you can do anything pretty much that you set your mind to. So that's something to keep in mind, to keep learning and sharing with people.
Perfect. Thank you. And we will let Rosalind kind of wrap up her thoughts on this as well.
Okay, I just want to say, like, in line with what Emma said. So, like, just don't be hesitant. There are lots of opportunities on campus. So, just like, let yourself go. Don't be hesitant and, just try out new things. Try out new things. Yeah.
Perfect. Perfect. Thank you. And I will pass that along to Sarah now for our next topic.
I would like to know, you guys have kind of mentioned things about you like to get to know other students so that you don't feel as homesick. So what are some ways that you have found to get involved? Emma mentioned finding a job or something like that. But what are some other ways that you guys have found to get involved? Some structured ways that the campus offers for you to get involved?
We can start with you, Anna, and then we'll go to Namdi.
Well, to begin with, you can always search for organizations or clubs to join within campus. I would suggest join organizations that like have something to do with your major so you can build on connections for the future, and then you can have like a reputation, you can have connections, build friends that will they will be needed in the long run. So definitely engaging yourself in the community as much as possible in clubs and organizations will work for you very well.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's a wonderful one from Anna. Yeah. I actually wanted to talk about organizations too. Yeah, joining organizations will really help you to know people, meet more people, and also this is something that has helped me personally. Don't be scared or shy to engage in group projects. That's in your classes. Whenever there's a group project opportunity, yeah, speak up and join a group, and you get to meet people on a more personal basis, and that's how I've made some friends here too. Yeah.
Go ahead, Emma, and then we'll move to you, Oscar.
Yeah, the so I was thinking about the resource. So there's a lot of volunteering opportunities here. For example, Serve 9112. And so with these volunteers, like volunteer program, you can volunteer in Statesboro in a lot of small businesses, food banks, and that's interesting. And you get to meet a lot of different people there, and that's pretty awesome.
Perfect. And go ahead, Oscar. I think you had something to add.
Yeah, and to close up a bit about the clubs, something that it's great that Georgia Southern offers is that most mayors, and I will say that all mayors have like their own club and their own competitions they do. Personally, I'm an engineer, civil engineer, so I was in the American Society of Civil Engineers just as Anna, and that gives you an opportunity of applying your learning, gathering connections, which is extremely important. You have no idea the importance of having these organizations on your resume can drastically change your opportunities. So, and it's so easy. It's so easy to get out there, to sign your name, and to involved. And getting involved, it's the most important thing you can do here, gathering connections.
Perfect, perfect. Thank you, Oscar. We appreciate you sharing those thoughts. And Tanisha, you look like you'd like to add something, and we'll let you go ahead.
Yeah, and speaking of getting involved, because I know there are some people that don't really feel comfortable like going up to the people that are in clubs and all that. So one thing that I did was we have this thing called My Involvement, which has like all of the lists of clubs and organizations. And I just kind of looked through all of them, like what they were about and who to contact. And you can really send a message. So you can really get involved from just sitting on your bed or on your couch, and you don't even have to lift a finger. And you can still see the millions of options we have. So just using that.
Perfect, perfect. Thank you for that. Thank you for that as well. So our next question is going to kind of revolve around something difficult. So what is something that you were intimidated by or scared of as an international student that wasn't quite as you might have thought before you arrived? And some of the things that we hear a lot about are racism in the United States or gun violence. So what have been your experiences with some of those things that you might not have been as concerned about in your home, but now coming to a new country alone that you might have thought were different. And would anyone like to start with that question? Go ahead, Rosalind. We'll start with you.
So, well, one thing I had a problem with was my accent, like communication. People didn't really understand what I was saying. But like Namdi said before, just have to like speak slowly and get them to understand what you're saying. Doesn't mean like you should give up because they could be like, what sorry, what are you saying? Like what are you saying? And you just give up and you don't want to like talk again. So you just have to, get used to it. And so I was able to overcome that. Yeah.
And Rosalind, what Namdi, did you want to have something you wanted to add to that?
Oh, okay. Yeah, I have. So, back in Nigeria, I always heard about racism and, racism to blacks and all that. And um, I'm a black, and I'm black. So I was scared when I came. You understand? Yeah, but when I came, I just let loose, and I came 1 week late, so I had trouble finding out buildings. But when I approached people, white people and different people I didn't know, they actually helped me. Like there was this white guy that literally walked me to my building that was 15 minutes away from him. So I've actually never had an experience with racism since I came here. So I would advise others to be more open-minded. That although you may hear bad news, but be open-minded. And states, Georgia Southern is a very wonderful place that has little or no racism. Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that, Namdi. And we will, how about you next, Anna?
One of the things I wasn't scared, but I just didn't know how to go about it was police interaction. And since being here, I found out that GSU's police is extremely friendly. The only interaction I've had with them was once I was walking on campus by myself. Like I had finished class early and there was a policeman there and he simply just said hi to me, "How are you?" And I was like, "Hey." And it's just, they're really friendly and they're very helpful. All of the stories I've heard about if there's a conflict regarding like on-campus housing or anything like that, police answer really quickly and they're there to help you and help others. So I've had really good experiences with police and I'm not afraid to go up to a policeman and tell them if there's something wrong. They'll always be helpful and I'm really happy about that here in GSU.
Perfect, perfect. Thank you very much for sharing that. Alejandro, how about you? Did you have any thoughts on those topics?
I would say like going on what like Anna said, like also the health system here is really good. Like I took some flu shots and also like there was once when like I was they really help you like if you need anything with your vaccines or anything, they'll be like constantly reminding you. They'll be like uh they'll do everything in order to like keep you healthy and like because like since you're coming from another country, there are a lot of like health measurements that they take different, but like they'll help you like understand and like they'll make sure that you're ready and like fully protected from like any diseases or any conflict regarding health issues that you might face.
Perfect, perfect. Thank you, Alejandro. We appreciate that. And Renisha, Oscar, Renisha, we'll start with Renisha and we'll move to Oscar. How about that?
Going off of what most of them said, like when I was coming here, obviously racism was on my mind because obviously I'm Black. And coming here, it was like, I don't know what to expect. I don't know if they're gonna be accepting or I'm gonna have to like fight my way for them to be accepting. But you learn, at least specifically for Statesboro, most of the people are really accepting of everyone, really, regardless of like your religious preference, your race or with whatever. So honestly, I would say not to be afraid of that because Georgia Southern staff and faculty and stuff, they're all really nice and they're all really accepting of everyone, really.
So I'd like to add up that Georgia Southern offers as well several mental health resources and facilities, and I think that's extremely important to spread because it's important to take care of mental health and break the prejudice that you cannot attend those necessities. And here in Georgia Southern, I think that they do a good work on trying to make students feel comfortable to reach out.
Perfect, perfect. Thank you for sharing that, Oscar. And we will go. It looks like Sarah might be having a slight issue there. Oh, Sarah's back now. We will let Sarah kind of ask any final questions she may have. Sarah, do you have any final questions at this point?
I would like to know, kind of similar to the question, what did you wish you knew before you arrived? What is a piece of advice that you would give to somebody coming in coming in as the first time in the US, the first time visiting Georgia Southern, a brand new college student, what piece of advice would you want to give them to help them succeed? I'll start with Tanisha, and then I think Renisha had also raised her hand.
All right, I would say the most important thing for me is that no one's requiring you to conform to anything, because I guess that's something that I thought that in order to fit in, to make friends, to like do well in university, I have to like act like them. I have to do whatever they do, like believe whatever they do, this, that, and the other. And that's not the case at all. I think that you don't have to conform to anything. You don't have to be anyone other than yourself, and you can still get the university experience, because university experience is being yourself. And no matter like what happens, just I would say don't try to be anyone else. Like there might be some people like that don't like you for whatever reason, but don't change yourself to fit into them or to be a part of other things, because you being yourself is more than enough. So I said
that. Okay, going back to what Tanisha, being yourself, and also what Rosin said earlier about accents. I know me and my friends joked about when we were in class, we didn't want to answer questions because we have an accent, and then the professor is going to be like, what? What did you say? What did you say? But don't be afraid to speak up, because they might not understand you the first time, but if you keep on speaking up, they're going to get what you're saying. And speaking up is so important in class and outside of class, so that you can get noticed, you can build connections, as Oscar and Anna said. And it's just important to be yourself and not be afraid of where you come from or what you sound like, because yes, you sound different, but I guess it makes you more unique.
Alejandro, would you like to add anything to that?
I would say like personality is like they'll definitely like notice like you have a different like way of acting, like because like it's a different culture completely. But like, if you keep like your personality, that only attracts people. Like many people will be curious about you, like, oh, why do you do this and stuff like that, and it's gonna be like a positive interaction, like basically like an exchange of cultures. And I think that you should keep to like your own personality and like live by that, and like that will actually attract a lot of people to you, like, and you'll be able to meet new friends by those means.
Perfect. Thank you. Nambi, how about you?
Okay, so they've pretty much said a lot. So yeah, it's very important that you be yourself. It's what will differentiate you from others. Then also I would advise that if you're coming to the university, you need to do a lot of mental preparation. You need to get your mind ready for a different life, because it's going to be different. It will surely be different. You need to prepare your mind to be alone, you understand, to be dependent, to be independent rather than being dependent on your parents and people. So you need to do a lot of mental preparations. And if possible, you can also, because you usually have a long break before coming to the university. So you could also keep your mind busy with some books so that when you come to university, you're still ready to study and read and all of that. Yeah.
Perfect. Perfect. Thank you, Namdi. And we will wrap that up with Emma's thoughts there. Emma, what do you think on there?
So one of the things that I was very scared when I got there was making mistakes speaking in English, because I was too focused on speaking the language perfectly, and I didn't want people to hear my accent, and I was conscious about it. But I really learned to embrace it, and that's the best thing you do, because it literally defines you. And and yeah, even if there is some small mistakes, sometimes that's not a problem, and actually people will remember you for that. So that's actually a quality to me now.
Perfect. And Anna, how about you?
I just wanted to say, like, for the new international students, it's totally okay to feel homesick, whether it's at the beginning of week you come here in the middle of the semester, at the end of the semester, it happens to everyone. And just as Oscar said, things will fall into place. So just keep a positive attitude and talk with your family, keep those relationships going on with everyone at home, and everything will turn out just as fine.
Those are really great pieces of advice. Thank you, guys.
Oop, I forgot to unmute myself there. Happens to the best of us. I think I'm going to try and kind of wrap those thoughts up a little bit. That for our new students, it's most important to share your culture, to be proud of where you come from, to come, and you are coming to learn. And so while you learn not only your university through what your classes are, you're learning about our American culture as well. But more importantly, you're showing Americans some of your own culture. And so there's a lot of people who are going to be very excited to learn about you, who you are, where you come from, and some of those small details that they haven't had the opportunity to meet someone from France, from Honduras, from the Dominican, from Nigeria, from the Bahamas. So that's going to be incredible for them to learn, to grow their own understanding, and to kind of have that open mind, to be willing to share and to kind of accept in as well. And throughout that process, if you ever have any problems, questions, issues, our office is always going to be here to help. We are your one-stop shop. We help you with your immigrations. We help you with your admission. We will help you until the day you graduate and long after you graduate, as Sarah knows. We are here to help you as students. We are here to enhance your experience. And we work hard every day to make sure that you can make the most of this opportunity. So before I wrap this up, I'm going to let each of our SOAR leaders give one final piece of advice, one final statement, whether you want to welcome the new students, whether you want to add something, whether you want to plug a certain club. I know Emma's going to plug her international ambassadors there, and then we will let Sarah wrap this up. So Anna, you are at the top of my screen. We will start with you. How about that?
So one advice I would give is to not be afraid to speak up. And also, I'm part of an organization called Women in Technology. So any new student, female student who studies within the STEAM fields is more than welcome to join. I'm currently the secretary for this upcoming semester, and I welcome you all to join.
Perfect. How about you, Emma?
Really, the thing I want to say is get excited because college in America is just so fun, and you're gonna have an incredible experience, that's for sure. And yeah, you have a lot to look forward to, and that's very exciting. And I'm excited as well.
Oh, all right, Namdi, how about you?
Oh, thank you. So, I want to use this opportunity to welcome all of you once again, and just don't think too much about it. Like Turner said, it's a learning process. You're coming to learn. So you just need to be open-minded. And one thing I really advise is that you ask questions. Yeah, you ask. That's one of the most powerful things in the world. Ask questions. You don't know everything. We all came into the world knowing nothing. So you're going to be learning every day. So ask questions. Each time you're confused, when you're lost, when you don't know, you're not sure, ask questions, ask your professors questions, and also make good relationship with your professors. Yeah, meet them, discuss with them, talk to them. There was this professor that I always went to meet, and I always asked questions and talked with him. And guess what? I got a job in the spring semester without applying. He sent my name and they accepted me. You understand? So feel free to meet professors, talk to them, and also get involved on campus. It will really help you. You will meet great people and it will boost your resume. So I would say you should work on all this. Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you. Renisha, how about you?
Just say to remember that like the people at Georgia Southern are very accepting, they're very helpful. They want you to at least the professors and stuff, they want you to succeed. They want you to do well. So don't be afraid, like Namdi said, to ask questions. Don't be afraid to speak up, and know that it's not all you coming here to work, but it's not all work. There are a lot of exciting and fun things to do on the Georgia Southern campus. I'm a part of an organization called University Programming Board, and we host many events on campus for students to come and enjoy their time at Georgia Southern.
Perfect. Thank you for that. Rosalind, how about you?
Well, I just want to welcome all the international students. You're welcome to Georgia Southern, and I'll tell you that don't hold back, don't be hesitant, just go for it. Whatever you set your mind to do, just go for it, because you don't know where it will lead you, and you don't know how well you do till you try till you go for it. So yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. Tanisha, how about you?
All right. I just want to say that I'm really excited to having all of you new students here. Exciting to meeting each and every one of you. And I want to say, don't be afraid to put yourself in uncomfortable situations, because there are so many opportunities. Like, we are obviously here to learn, but there's so many more opportunities than that. And just because it's maybe uncomfortable now, don't be afraid to make yourself uncomfortable, so then be comfortable. So yeah, welcome.
Perfect. Perfect. Okay. How about you, Oscar?
So I'll repeat what I say every single time they ask me this. Be yourself. Be yourself. That's the most important thing. No matter what, just be yourself. Come here, show us who you are, and the rest will come by itself. I'm excited to see what the future brings, who are the next incoming students, and that will be all for me for today.
Perfect. Perfect. Thank you. Alejandro?
One tip of advice is like learn to manage your time. You can also take your time. Like, trust me, in college you'll have a lot of time to do a lot of different things. So like, make the most of it. You have time for classes. You have time for a lot of other things. Joining organization clubs. Time to meet with people. So take advantage of all the time you have and like be productive. And I'm really excited to meet all of you.
Perfect. Thank you. Thank you. And I will let Sarah share any final thoughts she has with us there.
Well, thank you guys for watching this virtual SOAR cultural adjustment segment. We hope that you've learned a lot. If you have any questions, you can go ahead and email us at international@georgiasouthern.edu. We can provide links and resources for all of the resources that the students mentioned in this video. And from everybody in International Student Admissions and Programs, we want to say welcome to Georgia Southern, and we can't wait to meet you. Bye, everyone.